Well, thank you for joining us in our new class, which is the Theological Instructions. And it is a class that we're going to be going over the most important questions that man has. And what are these questions? The questions of where did I come from? Where am I right now? And where am I going to go to? There's not any more important question than this. And that is what theology or Kalaam, Imam al Kalaam, comes from. Kalaam actually it comes from Kalaam Allah. And we're discussing the entire topic came from the root of Kalaam Allah. Is the speech of God eternal or is it created? So because it was such a ikhtilafi, disputed topic, this entire topic of theology comes from this debate about is it uncreated or is it created, the word of God. And some of even the Sunni fuqaha during the time that they lived, and there's a shift between a Mu'tazili era kind of from Ma'mun, and then more of a Ahl Hadith Khalifa like Mutawakkil, that scholars from the Ahl Sunnah, like for example Ahmad ibn Hanbal, was whipped even because he believed that the Quran was uncreated. So this debate is just part of Ilm al-Kalam theology, but it comes from this. So the importance of theology relies on the fact that man, the most important thing that drives man is his beliefs. If he is convinced of something, if he has certainty of something, then the way that he's going to act or behave is going to be much different. When he believes in a God that is watching him, that is always he's going to be accountable for what he does, his actions are going to reflect upon his beliefs. And many of the issues that we have, it comes from the fact that we do not have enough belief. We do not have enough conviction. If we did in God, in the hereafter, in our role in this life that we have, then we wouldn't act the way that we do right now, if we had yaqeen, if we had certainty. So theology is going to give you, inshallah, the fundamentals and to prove to you why our religion is correct. And once somebody has a high level of certainty, or once a high level of knowledge or certainty, then his behavior is going to change. So the first thing that we can think about theology is that it's going to change us. And when a person, as you know, becomes Muslim and they realize that this is the right path, their entire lifestyle changes. In a person that was a non-practicing Muslim, and after they're convinced that everything that the Prophet said, 124,000 prophets and their successors said was true, then their life is going to change. So nothing will change us as much as our worldview. So we're looking at having a religious worldview, a religion that is inshallah haqq, is the truth, and not inshallah, it is haqq, it is true. Second, it's going to bring us towards happiness, because nothing is more important. Look at the verses in the Quran. No action is better than believing. Believing itself is an action, and we're going to talk about this later on. Belief is a voluntary action. So therefore, no action is better than belief. And once you believe in the truth, and you follow and you adhere to the truth, then you'll reach prosperity. But if you reject the truth, and if you have inad, and you're stubborn, and you fight against God, na'udhu billah, then in such a situation, someone will be doomed. Once a person comes to Imam al Hadi, alayhi salam, and Imam al Hadi, alayhi salam, explains to him, he was a person that he defended religion. He was a person that defended the questions that people had. Because this is another benefit of theology. You can answer your own questions, and you can answer the questions and the objections and reply to their objections. So this was a person that answered to the objections of people. And Imam Hadi alayhi salam gave him a lot of respect. There was a gathering, and there were very noble people from noble families. And the Imam Hadi alayhi salam in the story gave him a lot of respect and had him, I believe, sit in a place where he was respected. And there, people begin to ask questions that why is the Imam giving this person so much respect? He's not part of the Hashimiyun, for example. He's not part of the Sadat. He's not Seyed. He's not Hashimi. He doesn't belong, say, to so-and-so family. But Imam Hadi does not treat him based on, where he came from. He's treating him based on who he is. And the Imam tells him in this hadith, in this story, that أَتَرْضَوْنَ بِكِتَابِ اللَّهِ حَكَمًا. If you have questions about how I'm respecting this person, do you want me to answer you by the kitab of God, the book of God? And there he recites this verse, يَرْفَعْ اللَّهَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. That Allah will raise those who have believed among you and those who were given knowledge by degrees. So the way that people will be given degrees is by how much knowledge they have. So therefore, he answered them with this verse of the Quran, that those that have been given knowledge, they have respect, and they will be given more darajat and degrees. So therefore, when we want to increase, inshallah, our knowledge of theology, we understand that this is how the Imams gave respect to people that when in their absence, say this person was in another city, this person was in a place where the Imam wasn't, and the Imam couldn't answer the questions. He wasn't there. He was in another city. This person made the Imam of his age happy. We are approaching the 15th of Sha'ban, and it is a very important time, the birth anniversary of Imam Mahdi Ajjallahu Ta'ala Farajah. And there's nothing more important for us to reach completion of our religion by the Imam. And we won't know that after you believe in God and the Quran, and then the Quran guides you to the Prophet, and the Prophet guides you, and the Quran guides you to the successor, to following a complete human being, then nothing will allow you to become and make your Imam as happy as to gain religious knowledge and to answer people's questions. Because you are doing a service, you are removing some of the burden that the Imam of the age has. That we are orphans of the Imam, that we are yatim, and just like you put your hand and you caress the head of an orphan, when you teach religion and you teach people and you refute the objections, the dangerous objections that exist today, you are removing some of the burden from Imam Zaman's shoulders. So therefore, you are making him happy. And imagine the same person, same way that this person made Imam Hadi alayhi salam happy when he got into an argument and he very beautifully defended the religion of truth. You see that the Imam gave him respect. So this is a short introduction about what the benefits of studying theology. So a few more I can just say in general. You could say that it gives you al-basira fi din if you're looking for personal benefit. It's going to give you more knowledge, more insight in your religion. Then the value of a person, of a man, is on how much knowledge he has, how much ma'rifat he has. You're going to have insight in religion. You're going to be encouraged to act. You're going to be encouraged to do amal saleh, good actions, because beliefs is what causes you to refrain from sin. The belief, the sincere conviction that you have of the hereafter, that we are accountable. Everything we do, dharra, an atom's weight, will be counted upon. Allah says this in the Quran. Can anybody deny that every type of atom's weight of action will be yara, we will see it? Nobody can deny this because it's in the Quran. And then how come someone like me act this way? Because it hasn't become yaqeen for me. It hasn't become a reality for me. 3, we could say that it allows us to refute the objections. Fourth, it will give us power and the ability to guide others. It'll give us, you see some people, they become Muslim, they guide their friends, their family, everyone around them. They're like a shining star, a light, a guiding, a beacon of light. And it will allow you with knowledge to refute. And as we said, no religion is as logical as the religion of Islam. No religion emphasizes as much on knowledge as the religion of Islam. Why? Because we believe that our religion will be backed by strong proofs. We're going to prove God in this class with very strong proofs, inshallah. We're going to prove prophethood. We're going to prove imamat. We're going to prove the hereafter. The most important questions that man has, inshallah, we'll be answering in the most solid of proofs. Let's go through the slides now. Religion is deen in Arabic. It comes from the root word dawana, which means jaza, recompense, and ita'a, obedience. So deen, very interesting Arabic, means who you obey. So when you look at the literal meaning, and what is your religion, it means like, what are you obeying? What are you following? Some people, by this definition, their deen can be their nafs, their soul, their lower desires. Someone like me. And its technical theological sense, religion, deen, is a general belief in some supernatural source for the world and the behavior appropriate to this belief. Let's see here. I'm going to make sure that the chat is open on Zoom. Chat box. I have so many things open here. Okay. Yes. Okay. Good. You guys can, thank you for that. It's open. All right. True religion, when this belief, so religion means this, a general belief in some supernatural source for the world and the behavior appropriate to this belief. Very beautifully, very nice. That's what religion is. There's going to be a lot of definitions if you look at other books about religion, but this is one, a belief in some supernatural source for the world and the behavior appropriate to that belief. True religion is when the religion is said to correspond to reality, it is considered true religion. When religion corresponds with reality. So there is a reality. Some people say, what is the best religion? No. You can divide it this way. What is the true religion? Because there is a reality in this world. Things that contradict each other, they can't both be right. So if that religion corresponds with reality, with what really exists, then that is the true religion. Irreligion, a general belief that the world exists by chance or as the result of purely natural causes and phenomena. That's irreligion. The Quran even used religion even for the disbelievers, so that's a note for you for that. In general then, true religion has two components. What are the two components of religion? One is the correct intellectual discernment of and belief in reality as such, so that belief in reality is one part. And two, a practical method based on traditional authority. We owe a lot of this to one of the ulama here in Rome, that he took this book from the author and wrote these notes, Sheikh Shuja Mirza. We owe him a lot of, because he wrote these notes. We're using his notes from this. So you have two components of religion. One is an intellectual discernment, so in that belief, and two is that practical method. So when it comes to that belief, you're talking about the roots of religion, the usul, and when you're talking about the practice, you're saying the furu, the branches. Okay. Hence, the usuli, the roots, and the furu branches. The roots are the aqaid, and we said, the beliefs. The division corresponds to the concepts of worldview and ideology, and so far as the former pertains to general beliefs about reality, while the later pertains to general beliefs about man's actions. So we talked about furu'. So let's go to here. Types of worldviews. Two types of worldviews we have. And you look at your society in two different types of worldviews. One is a celestial or extranatural worldview, which is supernatural, metaphysical, theological, religious, sacred, you could say. And in Arabic, you could say ilahi, ma wara tabi'i, metaphysical, tawheedi, dini, you could say. Supernatural, mystical, psychic. Or it's terrestrial, natural, meaning either person is materialist, temporal, a scientist, not a scientist that believes in religion, because we have scientists, of course, that practice and believe in religion. But some could say this: empirical, maddi, a materialist, tabi'i, dhahiri, dahri, zindiq, mulhid, So you're looking at two types of worldviews. Either someone has a celestial or a terrestrial worldview. And those that have religion, obviously, they have a celestial and a extranatural worldview. When did religion come into existence? When did religion come into existence? From the Islamic worldview, religion came into existence at the same time as man came into existence. The first man, Adam, was also a prophet who came with religion. So the first creation, think about this. Actually, if you think about, the first person you could say in this world, it was Adam, and he came with religion. Polytheism is a result of distortion due to human limitations. Polytheism came from not being able to understand. They wanted religion. They believed in the metaphysical, the supernatural. But the problem is there was mistakes. And for example, when you see what happened in Arabia, you had a prophet like Prophet Ibrahim come, a prophet like Prophet Ismail come, and their descendants were there in Paran, or in that area, you can say that mountain range around Mecca. But slowly and slowly, some of them, they went towards idol worship, towards polytheism. So a lot of times, polytheism comes from that monotheism, but when it's distorted and changed, it leads into polytheism. All religions have beliefs in, the origin, the medium, and the end. All religions, all true religions, at least you could say, all true religions. The origin, what is the origin? Where did we come from? Inna lillah, we came from God. So that's the origin. The medium, what is the path towards the destination? What are we supposed to do? That's the medium. So that is the prophets of God. In the end, the return to God, the day of judgment, the afterlife. So you have these three things that, as we said, answer these three fundamental questions. Where did everything come from? Where is everything going to go? And to what end? What should be done in the meantime? The example that some other scholars give is this. Pretend someone is in an accident and he goes into a coma and he wakes up in the hospital. And he doesn't, somebody has a devastating event, they don't know what happened. The first thing that he might ask is, where am I? He looks around him, where am I? And so you're in a hospital. So hospital, why am I here? What happened? So he's looking at the media, where is he right now? Where did he come from? And then the third most logical thing, when am I going to leave from here? So these are the three main questions that a person has. And then the same way, this is the questions we have about this world. Just close your eyes and open them right now. Where am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going to go when life ends? So these are the fundamental questions of theology, of religion. And the answer is, the origin. We say the origin, you came from God. God is your creator. Where am I going to go to? There's going to be a real life afterwards. This is a temporary form of existence. And the second is, what is what am I doing here? This is where you cling on to the prophets, their books, their successors, and they give you what to do right now. They'll give you that instruction. Very simple. Very simple. Also, the Shia add two more. that is the justice of God. Why? Because there's a lot of debate, and we'll get into the other sections. So you have 5 sections. We talked about God, prophethood, and also the hereafter. Then we add justice and imamate. Justice is because there are debates, and even today there are debates about what is the justice of God. And we'll talk about that. I don't want to get you into that right now, but also about imamate, that we believe that is there a successor to the Prophet? Is he from God? And that leads us to imamate and the successors. And therefore, so we add these, and these are the fundamental beliefs that we have. Well, thank you for joining us.